Alright everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the F123 Drive Career Mode with Alpine. This is episode number 63 today for the Brazilian Grand Prix of Season 4, the third to last episode on F123. If you missed the previous episode I uploaded last week at Mexico, then I recommend you go and check one out before seeing this one, because spoiler alert, we've closed the gap to Albon to just 6 points now. So yes, I'm hoping runners up, especially the fact I had one of the worst starts ever to a season. But we'll have to wait and see about that, because sprint is going to be wet, and Brazil is not the best track for me on the F1 game anymore. It used to be a lot better. Just to note also, we have a new upgrade for this weekend, an engine upgrade, the final one, which will give us the, we've got a maxed out engine. That's put us next to Mercedes as well, ahead of Ferrari, but we're still the fifth fastest team on the grid, even though we're maxed out pretty much on every department other than durability, which again comes to this thing about potential. Everyone should have the same potential, and not the top teams having the best potential, like Red Bull, even Haas, AlphaTauri, Williams should have the same potential as Red Bull. As we move to qualifying, Brazil's not my favourite track on the game anymore. Sector 1 is a problem with the CNRSs, so yes, and well, qualifying didn't exactly go to the bestest start again.
Okay, the guys have found a leak in one of the coolant lines, so we're patching that up as we speak. Hold tight for now until we've got everything checked over.
Anyway, enough about that. First lap was only good enough for P16. Tsunoda also down there. Both of us looking to improve. Through the CNRSs, we're a little bit just up on our previous best time there as well. Now we go on to the second of the DRS straights. As I say, straight lines isn't the issue, it's just the CNRSs that cause them the issues, and we're slightly slower than Djokovic. We're now fast that AlphaTauri is in a straight line. So we come now out turn 4 down to turn 5. We're still only a fraction up on our previous best time, as we want to improve as we go through to the middle sector. Actually, this isn't actually too bad for me. I think I can outdrive the AI through these corners, which is better than losing a lot of time to them as well. I've actually gained 4 tenths on my previous best time as well. But we have dropped to 17th as we go through the finals middle sector with almost 2 tenths up on Hulkenberg, and now it's a straight line. I lost a bit out of the final, Zhongshao, that corner, I think it's called Zhongshao anyway, so 4 tenths up on my previous best time, and will this be anywhere good? No, it's only 14th, and we're half a second off Porsche, who qualifies a very good P4. I'm not too fussed. It is a sprint race. A 10th improvement would have put 2 tenths improvement would have put us P9. So it's slightly annoying that we couldn't get that. But nevertheless, I will take P14. So we can move forward from here. Though it's time for the sprint.
It's wet here today, and we're expecting the downpours to continue. This will make for a difficult sprint for all the teams.
So we are down the grid, and it is raining. Intermediates though, not the full wets, which could be worse. But then of course Brazil isn't the worst track on the game for intermediate tyres. So 5 red lights then for the final sprint on F123, and away we go. And it's a much better start than Leclerc as well. So we've got 1 position off the line. Can we have a look at Zhou as well in the BMW Haas car? No, we have to tuck in behind. We don't want to lose a front wing in the sprint. That could have catastrophic ramifications of both the sprint and the start of the race as well. But we have survived turn 1 and we're up to P13 now. So we go down to turn 4 then. This might be the time to make a move on Joe Guanyu down the inside turn 4. A little bit wide there with our understeer, and Djokovic follows me through there. But we have made the position work. Meanwhile, up at the front, it's a red Piastri, I think. Of course, he had P1, but has lost the lead to Perez, as well as Porsche had a go. He's up from P4 up to P3. This will be good for Teo, especially for the constructors. We're going to have a dive now down the inside of Yuki Tsunoda in the middle sector, up to P11. Next up will be Lando Norris, who we are going to try and get immediately straight away down the inside here. Try not to go in the back of Tsunoda, and we have indeed got Lando Norris up to P10, make that P9 as we get past Yuki Tsunoda and up to P9 now. As we now have a look around the outside of George Russell. Can we make this move work? Down the inside and at what is effectively the final corner, go a bit deep. Russell will come back, but we have the better exit up the hill, and we're able to out-traction Russell. We're up into the points. We set the fast lap of the Grand Prix as well, and now we catch on to Carlos Sainz. These conditions, I'm loving it. We're able to send it. We are clearly faster than everyone else in these conditions as we get past. So we've got past Sainz. Next up is Alex Albon. He will not want us to be passed. Remember, of course, we're in a fight with him for P2. 6 point separation is coming into him. We're going to send it down the inside. And even though we get a bit of understeer on the exit there, we're able to keep the position. Next up is Max Verstappen, and we're going to have a look down at turn 1 as a change. Verstappen will come back though through the center S's. But then he goes deep to have to give us room through the second part of the center S's there as well. I'll show a replay of this. So, obviously we went wide, but then obviously Verstappen had to go wide at the second part of the center S, and that's when we're able to get the better traction out of what is turn 3 down to turn 4 as well. And that is Albon having a go at Verstappen for P6, but Verstappen will have the inside line, Albon around the outside, and Albon comfortably gets the position as well. Meanwhile, up the road we've got Piastri. He has caught Sergio Perez. It's dropped Porsche a little bit as well. Oh no, that's a Spinalla for Piastri. Piastri has spun, and I think he's beached on the curb as well. We got Mark smoking something illegal there, and there's a red flag. We actually hit the back of Esteban Ocon there. We were catching him for third place. What is third place after Piastri Spinalla? But yes, red flag. He must have got beached, and I need to obviously help him out with that. But Piastri's still going. We're going to put a new set of Inters on. It doesn't really matter really because there's still rain. And go to 5 red lights with the chance of getting potentially a front row. We'll have to wait and see. Front lights out and away we go. It's a poor start for our teammate Teo Porsche. His countryman and myself have both jumped him. So Porsche down to P4, we're up to P3, Ocon up to P2. As we take a look then at what happened to Porsche on the restart, just had a poor start and then went battling with Alex Albon for P4, but is able to out-traction Albon out the centre S's and keep that position for now. We've now caught up to Perez. Perez has been overtaken by Ocon. So Ocon, this is the best we've seen since Australia as well. We're going to send it down the inside of Sergio Perez and up onto the front, what will be the front row of the race. Porsche also gets past Perez for a moment, a second, but then Porsche comes back. Perez comes back at Porsche. Down the final corner, can we get what will be pole position for the race? Yes, we can. We've gone too deep though. Will Ocon out-traction us up the hill? No, he won't. And we're going to come up the hill unless Ocon can get the better slipstream, but he's not closing in. We've got plenty of battery to use. Will we have to use? Will Ocon close in up to the line? Not close enough. And we just hold on then for what will be pole position at 8 points. That is crucial in a big battle there. As well, Teo P4, that surely should get us runners up in the Constructors' Championship. As a poor day for Mercedes, as they didn't score any points whatsoever. So yeah, well, we'll see what we'll do from what will be pole position for the Grand Prix. It's time for today's Brazilian Grand Prix. Okay, so here we are down on the grid, and it's a dry race. And yes, this could be problematic because obviously we were fantastic in the wet, but my race pace in the dry could be hindered. Well, obviously there is the offset between the AI, between qualifying and race pace. Obviously, we don't quite know how this I'm going to stack up against the AI in the dry conditions. We're going to start on the mediums, finish on the softs. Should give us fastest lap as well. Ocon on Perez, starting on the mediums as well. 5 lights then, and away we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And it's a great start compared to everyone else. We had a shocker by the looks of it. We already got the second 10th advantage. Look at Verstappen on the timing screen there. Here's a replay with Verstappen. He got Albon off the line, and then down the inside of Porsche and Perez, and then Ocon takes the white line. Verstappen just says thank you very much. I'm not going to have a repeat of what happened earlier between us, and Verstappen has P2. Porsche, don't know if he's got some sort of issue, because that is Perez going past him as well. So I'm not too worried about this at the moment in time, but I would like Porsche to get some good points today, even if it's just for helping us out and keeping, it's another car between myself and the McLarens, especially Piastri. Yes, he hasn't won the championship, and we're going to try and delay that even further here, as Verstappen has a go at us running out. He has go on the outside. We're just going to defend the inside there, as well as Porsche is getting overtaken by Yuki Tsunoda. This is not good, because that's Alex Albon behind, although Porsche is able to hold off Tsunoda. It's only a matter of time before, as Verstappen gets very close to my rear tyre there. But as I was saying, only time before Tsunoda overtakes Porsche. As well, potentially Verstappen. This is the best we've seen so far, really, as well, and that is Perez and Ocon. This is the battle for third. Both of them have sort of dropped off myself and Verstappen. Ocon is able to keep in front of Verstappen for Perez for now, as Perez though sends it down the inside. He has DRS down the turn 4, and Perez is up to P3, and that is Tsunoda. He will have DRS in the same spot, and he's just going to outdrag Teo Porsche and move into P5 as well. So yeah, and that's Tsunoda. He's just jumped onto the back of Ocon and Perez, and he's going side by side with Perez up to turn 5 into the middle sector. Tsunoda has the middle inside line, and Ocon has to yield. So Tsunoda now, he could be on the charge here for a podium position. Meanwhile, Piastri, he has undercut some people, which is annoying for me, because we could have, if it wasn't for that miserable Singapore and Suzuka strategy, we could have been a lot closer to him in the championship. But Piastri is effectively P4 right now, as well. We're going to make a pit stop. This will hand the lead to Verstappen, but Verstappen is on hard tyres. I don't know about Piastri, how far he can go. We will have soft tyres. We'll be looking to take that fastest lap point away from Oscar Piastri, funny enough, as well. 2.2 second stop. There is Max Verstappen. Tsunoda, as well. I don't like how close Piastri is to him as well. So, yes, and Perez. I'm hoping that Perez can get in front of Piastri, but Piastri gets in front of Perez there. Of Tsunoda, excuse me, and that's not going to help, because there goes Perez. He's going in front as well of Tsunoda. So Tsunoda's going to lose another position to Albon as well. So Tsunoda, in the space of a couple of corners, has lost a few positions. Piastri's right behind us, so that could be the championship over, I think, as well. But we are going to set the fastest lap of the race, though, take that point away, and incidentally get past Max Verstappen round the outside. The Tenor S is a nice little move there, as well, and that is a Haas of, I think it's Nico Hülkenberg, who the BMW engine is such a poor reliability. Countless engine failures over this season, and it's not been a great season for them. Porsche not having a great race, down stuck in P10 ahead of De Vries, and I think that's Russell as well. So not great for Teo. I'd like to have been a bit more, but I don't know if he's got damage. But our saviour, Alex Albon, he's going to overtake his teammate here. He technically could be ruled out the championship today as well. But he needs Piastri to fall down the order for that to happen, and he needs to overtake Verstappen really. But Perez is going to help Albon out as well by overtaking Piastri too, and that's Leclerc out again. And Alfa Romeo also having terrible reliability as well. Even though Ferraris is not better, but Piastri is going to come back at Perez though, with DRS round the outside at turn 4, and that's just unfortunate as well. I was hoping that he could get in front. Tsunoda now gets in front of Perez as well. Hopefully Tsunoda now, and there's Norris. Hopefully those two can go and overtake Piastri, but I think Piastri might have a little bit too much on those two as well. We jump to the final lap. You can see there's a 3-second gap between Perez, who's got back in front of Tsunoda, so we're finally lapping the Williams as well as we move up to the line. Then the Williams are a lap behind. And notice on the mini-map, Lance Stroll, 300 IQ, lets me by first and then accelerates. And then obviously, knowing his teammate is going to have to lift as well, he gets the overtake done on the inside to avoid being the wooden spoon. Fair play to Stroll there. Even if you're in one of the worst cars on the grid. We though cross the line to win back-to-back races for the first time this season. Is this championship over though? We'll have to take a look at the standings as Piastri comes home, P4.
A great race then, very much as we've come to expect, and a fantastic victory here at Interlagos. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
The faces on our top 3 look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all.
Oh yes, it's always good to be on the top step of the podium, and it's for the first time this season back-to-back race wins, as I mentioned. Obviously we've been working on this Alpine, and that extra engine power now, could that be crucial in unlocking more race wins with this car? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Basically, we've only got two races to win races in as well. Obviously with Portugal and Las Vegas to follow, but yes, I'm definitely happy with another race win. Gives us 34 points for the weekend as well. Our teammate sadly couldn't do much and he was down to P10. I suspect he might have had some sort of floor damage or something as well, which was obviously a problem for him. In terms of the Drivers' Championship though, it is not safe for Piastri by 2 points. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see that. Constructors, we pretty much sealed second place. Mercedes can still mathematically catch us, but they have to win some races. And Norris hasn't won since season 1, I don't think. Russell, yes, he's won twice this season, but past couple of races, he's not been that great as well. But for me, back-to-back race wins with 200 points, and that gives us 800 points overall. We are on a roll in this series. 4th race win of the season. Piastri hasn't won in 2 now. He'll probably win Portugal and then secure the championship. Knowing Piastri, he'll probably have some lightning pace there. Las Vegas we could win, but as I say, I think the goals were pretty much ruined. Poor strategy at Singapore, where pitting for wets. Japan, you know, we could have done a little bit better there. I personally feel I could have done. You know, places like Spain and Canada, I think we missed opportunities, and even Silverstone, France, not to get on the podium there. And then of course there was the DNF in Australia, which didn't help because I felt we could have got a podium at that race. And obviously Jeddah, which was just depressing, that race. But yes, that's where I'm going to leave it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, see plenty more F123 and F124 driver career mode videos as when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.